Good evening and welcome. It's the first edition of the Bad Company Podcast. I'm Jay Bird. I'm here with my main man, lightning strike himself, Mr. Jake Loicano.
What's up, y'all?
For those of you that don't know Jake Loicano, you're living under a rock. I'm going to tell you, he is the man that changed the game of hog band. World champions are now crowned because of this man. People come from the likes of the state of Maryland, Northern California, all over the great country to come to my man's show. I'm proud to be a small part of them. One of my dearest friends, Jake. How are we tonight, my man?
Man,
We're
I'm
30
doing
days
great.
away from showtime or less, huh?
Yeah, I'm doing great, and to say I'm doing great is actually an understatement. It's a great time of the year to be me. We have three big shows in the first 5 months of the year. Plus, we've had some big rodeos. We went right off the LRCA finals, straight into my show. We went to Crowley. We've been to Orange. Now we're fixing to go to Winfield. Come back to Orange. We got Hemp Hill. We got the Redbud Festival in Buna. This part of the country, we got all kind of events really going on, and we got some big things coming up as far as how we are starting to reach people. People aren't coming from Maryland just to win these big cash prizes because
And when we say people, let's go ahead and get a name out there. My man Johnny White. I'm talking about my man Johnny White, two dog champion Johnny White. You know my man Johnny White.
Johnny White is quite the character. He's done it all in his time, and now his it's like the love he never could find now is competition hog dogs.
Yeah,
And
and the love he was able to find before, like Johnny's probably the most well liked, or I'm gonna say the celebrity out of all the guys. Even I mean, everybody likes Johnny White.
yeah, man, he's got
Maybe
a
not the jeans level, but you know.
yeah, he's got a like a unique swagger about him. It's kind of the I don't like it when you call him this, but it's kind of like because he's a Yankee and he's like the only one.
Southern Yankee for certain.
Yeah,
I'm
man, and
proud.
like even folks from the Pacific Northwest, man, like we don't even really think of them as Yankees anymore because they're so country. But like Johnny, I don't know, he's a country Yankee, and folks don't get to see a whole lot of that around here. And plus, he's since day one he's been a hard hitter as far as making moves and things like that, making things happen, and now it's really starting to pay off for
He
him.
really has it going on, man. Super proud to see it, huh?
Yeah, no doubt, Big Daddy, no
And
doubt.
I feel
And
like we can't talk about Johnny White without talking about his maybe fiance. They may have even taken it to the next level. I'm talking about the man that calls Matador his own. I'm a man,
oh,
Gene Reynolds in the Matador.
oh, Gene Reynolds of Rockin' R Kennels, man. It's really. I was actually jealous at first when I seen their Facebook relationship. How they basically have eggs and coffee and a good morning kiss on Facebook every morning. And
Absolutely.
I was jealous at first, but then I realized that hey, it's like a healthy crush. You know what I mean? It's not like stalking. It's not like stage five clingers. It's
No.
just a good healthy crush.
Hey, and it's not like most people on Facebook that's all talking about how much they love each other. Like you see it genuinely in real life how much they love each other.
Yeah, man. It's not like you see these anniversary posts where like they've done broken up and you see them in relationship with other people, but they like, oh, happy anniversary, babe. Like, man, I thought you were with so and so, but there's no doubt these two are together.
Yeah,
They're a
yeah.
thing.
Like they broke up 13 times in high school, but even when they're 35, people look at them like, hang on, they're not married? I thought
Yeah,
they was, oh yeah, they are married. That is them,
yeah, yeah. They were just seeing other people for a little while.
Just sick of other people. Sounds like one of our buddies don't have a whole lot of hair, likes to mix his game.
But man, I'm real excited about this new venture. I've dabbled in something before like this, and I believe we really have a format now that is gonna put us over the top and have us a lot of listeners. Something we can do and keep putting new material out. And like the baseline for our material, do I have this written down right? Is it like Bronx, Boers, Babes, and Bulls? That's correct.
It could be bulls and babes and broncs and bulls, bulls and babes and broncs and bulls. I don't
And
care.
maybe even a
Damn,
little
we gonna
ball.
talk
Who
about it.
knows?
Yeah, and
Especially
we
during
can
the
talk
fall,
about
we're
other
going to
cool
have to talk a
stuff.
little
Like I
ball.
mean, buffalo, and I mean we got it all. Bikinis, I mean, we're gonna talk about it all, man. This is if you like the I guess outdoor way of life, rodeo, hog hunting, hog baying. I mean, taking a dip of Copenhagen, whatever it is you like to makes you feel real country. Guess what? We live it. I can't help it, man. I was born a country boy in the middle of nowhere, and I moved to a place in Mississippi that the closest anything is 1 hour away from me in any direction. I love it.
A geographical oddity. You know,
Yeah,
I was born retarded, and I've been spending my whole life trying to get out of it. But man, you know what? I'm having fun. It's all that matters.
man. See, I wasn't. I don't think I was retarded. My bus had like 3 seats on each side, so I think we went. I'm good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Hey, it was a small school.
yeah, man. So one of the things I want to do on all of them is kind of talk about where we've been and where we're going. Uh, Fortunately, man, where we've been, that's pretty easy to answer. Me and you seen each other. So it's a Tuesday while we're recording, right? So we've
Yep.
seen each other this past week in Orange, Texas.
Yep.
T2 Center, Mr. Chad Havens, SYJ Rodeo. You, the family, came hang out, man. You bought me some Tia Juanitas. I love when that happens like that.
Yeah. I guess definitely we've seen each other. We've had an event at least once a month for the last several months, but most recently we were right here in the home of the hogband.com headquarters. Beautiful Orange, Texas. A lot of folks like to call it the right side of Texas, where
The most eastern city of all of the Lone Star.
that is correct. And they have a beautiful arena here called the T2 Event Center, owned by Mr. Chad Havens. And man, let me tell you, that was the most spectators that I believe I've seen at a rodeo in Orange, maybe in all of East Texas in quite a few years. Man, I mean, there was, there was a vast lineup. I want to say just in the performance and the slack after immediately following the performance, there was like 48 bull riders Friday and Saturday night combined.
Yeah, man. I mean, kudos to Shane Young and the SYJ gang. I don't. I mean, it's we're living in a time now where if you get 10 bull riders a night at your rodeo, you're stoked. And that dude showed up and got 48 bull riders, and he always gets a bunch. Kudos to him for having a good pen of bulls, good bullfighters. Man, the whole rodeo was. Um, I'll say, man, the SYJ Rodeo Company, I feel like it's on fire right now.
Yeah,
They're on a streak the last few years, and another thing that I do a good bit of these rodeos, and I'm proud to play that small part of getting to hold that microphone.
yeah, it was a great atmosphere. And as far as the bad company podcast, there was definitely some bad company in the house. And it's starting to become like a family, and we all know who we're rooting for and all that good stuff, and it really makes for a good
So
atmosphere.
Jake's people, I'm going to go ahead and tell y'all, Daryl Elliott, bam.
Daryl Elliott, I
Ethan
played
Winkler,
basketball in high
bam.
school with Daryl. I had no idea that he was going to be the LRCA champion. I mean, he might have known, but he didn't let it be known. He was more of a rebounder and a defense player when I knew him, but now
Yeah,
he knows
man.
how to jerk a knot in a steer.
Yeah, he's bad to the bone, man, and a classy dude. Every time you see him, he's always, happy to be there.
Yep, and I know after Friday, I think he was leading. I don't know how it fell out. I believe there was some really good times Saturday though. I don't know if
Another
he.
one of your really good buddies back out of retirement for the 37th time. One of our good buddies, Joel Piku, was there. I know he placed in there good. I thought the judges kind of shorted him on points. I hope the judges aren't watching this, but if y'all are, come on, guys. What were y'all looking at?
Yeah, Joel kicked the hair off his horse. And the way Joel's horse came out, it was coming right to me, and he was. I mean, it looked like he was really kicking and getting it, and then he made like a U-turn and went almost like a V directly away. And when I heard 71, man, I was like, golly, do they just not like old people or what?
And I think the scoring did get a little mixed up. I think he might have actually been 73, but still, I mean, it was a way better ride than that,
Well,
man. And
I,
sometimes I like to pull my friends and got my blinders on, but I think that was a deal where. But then again, Isaac Richard, the guy that won it, was only a couple points more than him. So really, Isaac could have been more points as long as they got it right, which they did. Judges did. Um,
well,
Isaac just threw them, and they both rode good.
I seen a side view, and when the horse turned and was kicking and was going away, he did slow down at the end, like probably the last 2 seconds.
May have blown about that time too.
Yeah,
You're right.
And
That's
I believe that.
people putting that Winnie Texas iron in him. That's why.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. And speaking of like that part of the country and the bull riding, like Friday night, Laramie Cragen blew the roof off, and
Yeah,
if he didn't blow it off with the fans, he was about to kick it off from spur, and he was putting on a show. Like he knew he had one he could handle, and he put on a show.
man. Just to tell a real quick glimpse of this story, when Laramie was a freshman in high school, he got on a bull at one of the Region 5 rodeos that was way too much for him that come from us or Shane. I can't remember even the bull, what it was, but the bull throws him up in the air and he ends up landing back on him backwards and rides him about 3 jumps backwards. Not trying to, of course, just
Yeah,
couldn't go nowhere else. And the kid got off, and most people would have been super freaked out. He had the biggest smile on his face. I thought, this kid's going to be great. This kid's going to
yeah.
be great.
He does have a bright future, and he's been about it. You know, he's if anybody was ever born to ride bulls, it was Laramie Cragen.
Yep, second generation bull rider. That's right. Yep, that's in your part of the country.
Yeah, me and his brother were real tight when we were in school, and all Laramie wanted to do was get on a calf. And now I can tell that time that he's devoted to that is really starting to pay off.
Yeah, man, Casey Cragen we're talking about, man, he was one of the elites there, when he was going in the bullfighting world. He always had on that signature striped shirt, man. He could do the deal. He was one of my favorite to watch do it.
He the first year I did Uncle Earls, he worked the pen for me.
No kidding.
Yep, it would
I
have
never
been.
knew that dude worked a day in his life. That's pretty good
Well,
news.
well, all right. He was he was
Hey,
a sign. He
can I call out Lil Piku on the podcast right now
little
for not
Garrett.
the pen? Yeah.
Yeah,
Like
man.
Garrett Piku, Jake Loicano calls me every day and like with the biggest, like I just can see the smile over the phone kind of deal. And he's like, man, I got my man covered. And I'm talking. He even says like he sees some of him in you, and I know how much he likes himself. So
I
holy
could see
smokes.
I could see two of him